What is up, nerds? Welcome to a very special Wandom Wednesday live stream for us simply nerdy folk. We are here as a whole panel tonight, a rare occurrence. And we are here. Yeah, we are here to discuss some really awesome news that Nintendo decided to randomly drop on this fine Wednesday. First of all, being the news of the music app, which I am excited for, and also the Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on Switch. Would love to get everybody's thoughts here on the panel. We'll just kind of go maybe one topic at a time. Maybe we'll talk about, I think, what was it, the Xenoblade Chronicles that was announced yesterday? So maybe we'll address that one first. I think that'd be good. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? How does it look? Do you have any expectations for this game? Anyone planning to get it?
Can I go first?
Anthony.
So the funny context for this being announced is that we had been having a conversation on our Discord channel about how I was critical of some of this game's music, and I will admit, after kind of revisiting, that I've kind of spread that opinion a little bit too much like a blanket. But let's just say that there is a song in there that sounds like a man trying to have a bowel movement. You know.
Bowel health is very important, Anthony.
Yeah, and I usually keep that to myself.
It is new LA, so I mean, can you?
You don't set up in the studio and start recording it, right?
No, I definitely don't.
I have to admit. Okay, wait. Just on the subject of the music that we find painful for a sec. There was a time a few days ago when I was like, oh yeah, I want to give Black Tar a quick listen, because I feel like I remember thinking it was cool, but also not being able to stand it at all. And I was listening to it, and I was like, okay. And then it was the part where it's like, where's something on a whole different planet? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I turned it off. I can't even with that.
The way you described it was basically the perfect description for me. It's hype, and yet you hear the lyrics and it's cringe. So somehow it does both. So yeah,
I'm Black Tar, another song from Xenoblade, or is that
Xenoblade X? Yeah, it's the main battle theme.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you don't listen to the words at all, then it's like
acceptable.
Decent. But if you listen, if your brain listens to words ever, then you're gonna die. Anyway.
Great.
Yeah, great. So yeah, as you can see, at least some of us here are kind of critical about some of the approach to music. Anyway, the context why we're talking about this at all is that I had brought that up. I don't remember what spurred the conversation, but I mentioned that song, and then we were kind of just on one, ripping it a new one, if you will. And then the very next day, they announce the remaster, the definitive edition, out of the blue. And I messaged the Discord. I'm just like, look, guys, I summoned this, I swear. And so it was funny. My initial reaction was, whoa, wow, that I never expected to see that on a random Tuesday. And then I was like, well, I might be interested in double dipping, because I will say, even though I'm critical of the music and the story was a major disappointment to me, the gameplay was really good, and there are good songs in there as well. I did enjoy a good number of them. Anyway, but then I watched the trailer, and there was a single line that was spoken by I think it was Lynn, who was being the narrator at that moment. Something she says, which maybe I won't go too deep into for the sake of spoilers. With reference to, if I even make reference to it, then that will be a spoiler. She says something that
it's in the trailer. So, I mean, how spoiler is
fair. Yeah, okay, fine. That's fine.
Words.
She said, okay. Well, Austin pointed out she said it in the trailer. So if you watch the trailer, then sorry, you're already spoiled. So the opening of the original Xenoblade X shows the conflict over Earth, and then Earth exploding as the protagonists in their ship escape, right? I don't know if they plan on representing that super differently, but the line that Lynn said, she didn't describe Earth exploding. She said, "Our home was swallowed by a shroud of light," and with that single line, they made it so that it could be canon.
Tied it into the rest of the franchise
Yes.
lore.
So I won't say more than that because that's where we do get into spoilers that aren't covered by the trailer. Let's just say changing it from Earth exploding to swallowed by a shroud of light makes it instantly canon friendly. Instantly.
So good.
And so,
Yeah, I like
so
that
right
phrasing.
there.
Canon friendly.
Yes. So I as soon as I saw that, I was losing my mind. I'm like, oh, hold on. This just went from vague interest to extreme interest. And then at the very end, they have a little scene with an unnamed character who plays a somewhat important role in the game. Meeting with a character who they didn't bother to let us see. But
I know.
the point of that scene... it's
Organization 13.
They're trying to cross over with Kingdom Hearts. Let's hope not.
It did look like an Organization 13 member, didn't it?
He was wearing the classic cloak. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why does this look like a Kingdom Hearts scene? Okay. Sorry.
I'll be very sad if somehow that there's no way. There's no way. That would be terrible. Anyway. But that is also something that was not in the original game. So they told us two things at once. First of all, that the game can now be canon, which I don't know why they'd even bother to change that line if they didn't intend to do the canon thing. And there's other reasons to suspect that previous things that they've said that I can't go into because of people who are dragging their feet on this panel. Yeah, just look at the person who's frowning.
Austin.
You know who it is.
Sorry, what?
You need to
Austin's
get on
not
that, Austin.
deflecting blame to Austin.
There you go. I'll take one for the team.
Anyway, I can't go into the reasons why, but anyway, they make it canon. They basically have said also. I mean, like I said, one of my biggest complaints was the story was disappointing. It ended abruptly, didn't answer questions, and that single scene at the end suggests, well, they're adding more. So
yeah,
maybe
I believe the phrase they used was it's visually enhanced, but it also includes newly added story elements and more.
Okay.
So better music, maybe. Who knows?
Most important question: are they going to change the thing that I have been mad about for like 10 plus years?
What is that?
I think they're going to not change it just because.
Just for you.
So here's the very high level. This isn't very spoilery because again, the original story was so bare bones that you could get this from the trailer almost.
Can I
Go for
say
it?
And
Yeah,
you can
go.
stop me if you feel like I'm straying into bad territory.
Nope, go for it.
But basically, your experience is, we have to go find these like thingies that are very important, like they're very important for everybody to live, basically.
And if they get destroyed, then we all die.
Yeah, if they get destroyed, then we all die, and it's basically like people dying if they're getting destroyed. And so you go to this place, and you're like, oh my gosh, look, it's one of those things we need to get. And then you see something attacking it and destroying it. And everybody takes like 5 minutes to be like, oh my gosh, how could they? This is awful. Oh no. And I'm like, get over there. Why are we talking about this?
It was painful.
It was I was like, this has to be a comedy. This is being played for laughs. That's the only answer. Anyway, yeah. I mean, still mad. And it's been years and years and years. How long ago did that game come out?
2015, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it'll be 10 years when the definitive edition's released.
So I've been mad for 9 years.
It's been out that long? Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
Did I describe it well, Anthony, or do you feel like
yes, you did?
More words
and you kept it pretty general as well. So good job. Yeah, it was painful. It was very painful to watch all these people being like, that's that I think if we watch just a few more seconds, we might die. Should we keep doing that?
I have a question for the panel because I don't know the answer to this.
Go for it.
Who of all of us has not played this game before besides me? Am I the only one? Austin, David? Okay,
Yeah,
so
I have
3
not.
of the 5 of us have not played it.
Just
David
Lisa and I.
and
We're the 2 of us are the ultra Xeno fans.
Hey now.
Well, I mean, you're
I've gotten into it recently, but I
no, you're
Same.
the only reason is just that you haven't checked the X yet, and then you can join the ring.
I see what you did
See what you
there.
did there. Anthony,
X
I
marks
mean,
the spot.
David and Austin, is this a good reason for you guys to pick up the game? Like, are you excited to try this out? And are you?
I
is
am.
like on your wish list. Yeah.
It is. It's nearing that must play for me. I'll have to see. What the price is going to be. Are they going to do a dual release with the Switch 2? There's a lot of factors at play, but I'm very, very interested because in the last few years, I've gotten into the Xenoblade franchise, and it's nearing the top as one of my favorite franchises, up there with Zelda now. So, which is high praise. That's
It is.
considering how big of a Zelda fan I am, in case you couldn't tell.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
you don't see is another bookshelf full of more Zelda paraphernalia.
You guys can
we go.
all the Zelda
Oh dang!
Da-na-na-na.
I've seen it in person. It's really impressive.
Yes.
Not to mention his awesome Lego Deku tree that he gets
Oh,
to build.
it's there. It's in that shelf. Yeah.
Dang.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for the game, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't know when, but I'm going to.
Say that I found out like semi recently, which in the span of 9 years is like maybe a year ago. I found out that Food for Dogs really liked Xenoblade X, and I was like, well, if she liked it, then maybe I should give it another chance because she's adorable.
She is pretty cool. What is she in her 80s, and she's like this savvy YouTuber grandma gamer lady.
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't
props.
I haven't checked in on her in a bit, so I don't know if she's still doing it, but she's still adorable.
Cool.
Yeah, and I will say this again to give some context to why I was critical about the game. I think one of the biggest reasons is that it was even though it wasn't trying to be a direct plot-based follow-up to Xenoblade Chronicles, by the mere fact that it took the name Xenoblade Chronicles created a certain expectation in me, and the big 3 for me of the original Xenoblade Chronicles that made it one of my favorite games ever was, first of all, the excellent gameplay, but also the incredible music and the incredible story. And so I went into Xenoblade X thinking we were going to get more of that, and so Xenoblade X, really good in the gameplay department. World design was incredible. Some of their set pieces, honestly, I think Xenoblade X might have the best world design out of all the Xenoblade games.
Wow. Yeah.
The music, for me, and the story were major misses. They were just a gigantic step down in quality. Now, I know I've gotten myself in trouble with our viewers before in saying that about the music. I will just say I have recently learned to appreciate the music more than I have in the past. It's just, for me, it was still such a major stylistic departure from what I really liked about Xenoblade 1 that it just still was
Whiplash. Yeah.
It was a little bit whiplash, yeah. But that being said, if I were to judge the game just on its own merits, it's still a really great game. I mean, there's nothing that's going to save that story unless the definitive edition does it.
Unless they address those. Yeah.
Yeah, if the definitive edition actually bothers to fix things, then I'm going to be really excited about that. The original, I'm sorry, that story is it was written by a preschooler.
Oh no!
Shots fired.
Shouldn't have said that.
Oh no!
Holy crap! Okay, and now
He's
we
gonna
move
get
on to
crucified
music.
tonight.
Let's move on to
David, I'm curious what David's thoughts are regarding
Same.
Xenoblade X.
So my first exposure to the entire series was Anthony and Lisa being like, "This first game's amazing," and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 I'm talking about. And I had the Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X released, and they were both seemed pretty disappointed with certain things about it. And I hadn't even played the first game yet, so I was like, well, I guess I'll pass on this. But the trailers and everything I saw, it looked amazing. Gameplay, the world. I was like, I wish this was good because it looks fun. You know, I wish Anthony said it was worthwhile. So anyway, but they talked about the music and they talked about the story being disappointing. I should have just gotten it anyway. What?
Hey, I've
Yeah.
maintained all along that there's some bangers, especially that random cave song. I love that cave song.
And I
maintained
will
that.
say, I really liked a lot of the songs too. Like I said on the Discord, all of the major area themes are incredibly epic. And there was a period of time when I loved nothing more than to put my my car speakers on basically max and just blare Caldros or Oblivia or Primordia, just jam. Like those songs were incredible.
Yeah,
That gives me hope, so that's good.
Yeah. But I just sometimes I get a little tired remembering that I'm not just in a distant land. I'm on a whole different planet, and also and also like when I'm trying to buy new equipment, I hear a guy pooping. So it was just it was a really tough juxtaposition sometimes.
What's interesting though is that it kind of makes narrative sense for the music to be so stylistically different from Xenoblade 1.
Still don't like that.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go in and I'll be aware. I won't be won't have that surprise that Anthony and Lisa had, and I'll just do it different. But like I said though, I kind of wish I had played Xenoblade X on the Wii U because there wasn't anything else to play. So.
Ouch.
You know what?
He's not wrong.
Stephen Fleming, he's got his thing cleared.
Listen.
I have one thing to say, and you know what it is.
Yeah.
Splatoon.
Yoshi's Woolly World. And yes, Splatoon as well. Yes. You're right. Sorry, continue.
I do have to agree. Yoshi's World. Woolly World.
Whirly world.
You gotta say it right, Dave.
Yoshi's Whirly World.
Yeah. That was a great one, but I mean the releases were so few and far between on the Wii U. It was painful. And so it would have been nice if I had actually played this large open world game that would have actually been busy. But anyway, and like we mentioned before, I looked up the official listing for Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Austin, to answer your question, it's at $60, $59.99.
All right.
And
at least for the Switch one.
Yeah, at least for the Switch one.
Yeah.
And
If they're going to do launch.
If they're going to dual, I don't know if they'll dual release, but
right.
Who knows?
And then the thing you were describing, Austin, that was from the official listing that said there will be added story. So it's not. We don't have to guess that there will be. They are going to add things to the story.
That's what it said.
No,
yeah.
No, I'm really glad that they've confirmed that. The thing that I'm still withholding judgment on is whether or not I should get excited that it's going to be good story.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's the guessing part. Is we don't know for sure what elements they're adding to the story, or if it's going to fix the original flaws. But if they do, that just makes me even more excited for it. So,
yeah.
Steve, honestly, are you planning to get it, Steve?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I think I will, just because I am a newly found fan in the Xenoblade series. I really enjoyed the first one. I am enjoying the crap out of the third one. I skipped the second one.
Shame.
But I think I might even have to go back and do that. Play them a little out of order, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in trying out X as well. Especially with some of the new enhancements I've heard so far, not only on this panel, but in their trailers and whatnot.
I also feel like Steven would really, really like Skells, which is something I struggle with because if you give me expensive thing and then say this can break if you don't do it right, then I will put that thing in a cage and never touch it, which is kind of what I did.
You had a big old robot trophy and not a vehicle.
Yeah. I afforded that, and now it will stay pristine.
And I got to tell Lisa 10 years later, well, almost 10 years later, that if you do a QTE well enough, then it doesn't cost any money to rebuild them.
Okay, but do I trust, regardless of how easy the QTE is hypothetically, I could still mess it up by being a weirdo.
And then you just load a save.
I guess.
Brilliant.
Have you heard of this thing before? These saves?
Well, should we segue to music now, I suppose?
I think that's a great idea.
I'll just throw out just this final thought. I'm really pleased that they're doing this much, not only to bring what is one of the Wii U's classics to a modern console, but to give it extra love and to make it look like it's going to fix a lot of problems. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't expect they're going to change anything about the music, but there's a part of me that feels like I'm going to give it a better shot this time. But the story, I am really hopeful about the story. And I know before I said, rather inadvisably that, how I felt about the story, but I think that even just a little extra context that turns that final linchpin in why we should care about what's happening, that could make a big difference. Because it's a compelling narrative. It's just more simplistic in the steps, and then when you get to the end, you're like, wait, where's the payoff? That was the thing I hated. So fix that, please, and then it'll be awesome. Okay.
Final thought too. One final thought for me too, Anthony. Like, I'm also a recent convert to the Xenoblade series, and having also skipped 2, like Steven did, I feel like I at least got to give X a chance. So I'm almost certainly gonna get it. I'm excited.
I did all sorts of things backwards because I started Xenoblade 2. That was my introduction to the series.
It was the first one on Switch, so it was a good place to start.
How dare you start out of order, sir?
Well, it worked out perfectly because it was shortly after that they released the definitive edition, and that's when I played 1. And then I played 3 because they shortly after released that one. So it kind of worked out perfectly on the Switch.
It's the Xeno console. The Xeno console.
Xeno console.
I like it.
It really is.
I'm a long way from Operation Rainfall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I
Absolutely.
think that's extremely exciting for all the Xenoblade fans. And,
Can I just say something crazy real quick?
Go for it.
Let's hear it.
I love
That was pretty crazy right there.
Sorry. So, like, you know how I don't know how to phrase it right, so I'm just gonna go into it. But when I look back at how awful the graphics looked on the Wii, I'm like, it never looked like that. Like, isn't it so weird when, like, you go back to see a thing that you played and thought looked amazing, and then you're like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Because for some reason, to me, like when I saw the definitive edition of Xenoblade 1 on the Switch, I was like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. And then I see screenshots of what it actually looked like, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Hideous. Yeah. I felt the same way about Ocarina of Time. Like, going back and watching that, I'm like, oh, did it really look that like rough?
I don't know. I feel
around the
like
edges?
that one aged better than Xenoblade not definitive edition did. But it might have also been because I had my characters wearing just the weirdest assortment of armors, and so Shulk was wearing like a little headband in half of the scenes where he was like, I was like, you look so stupid in your little headband. Anyway, done with that.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to go on to the next order of business, which is the Nintendo Music app. It's a new application for iOS and Android with music from Nintendo titles. I believe it's all first party right now. There's not a whole lot of selection right now, but there is potential for future games to be added to the music selection.
So, did you actually go check out the app?
I did. Yeah,
Yes.
I downloaded it just an hour or two ago. Yeah.
So what is there?
So there's a lot of old school stuff. There's some like Dr. Mario, Zelda, Mario games, Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild music.
Breath of the Wild isn't old school.
No, I'm just saying that they have some old school
okay,
stuff,
okay.
but they also have new stuff. They have Splatoon. They have some of the new Zelda games.
They got Metroid Prime on there.
Metroid Prime. Yeah.
Metroid Prime's on there.
So
Pikmin 4.
yeah, Pikmin. So a lot of really good background music that people can listen to while you work or study. You do have to have a Nintendo Online subscription, and I believe there's an ability to download it. I hit download, but it doesn't download like an MP3 version. It just downloads it into the app so that you can listen to it offline later if you wanted. So just a heads up there. But you also, what was that, David?
I think that's how Apple Music works. Like I can download songs from Apple Music, but it doesn't make them available outside the app. So.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Just like Apple Music. You can loop songs. You can extend them so you can listen to the same song 15 minutes, or an hour.
I gotta say, they took that straight from all the extended mixes people like to put on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how much they've struck stuff on YouTube, they have to be like, oh man, people really like those extended versions, don't they? We should do that.
They really like listening to 10 hours of new LA music.
Oh, wow.
I forget the name of the specific bowel movement song, but
An LA Night. Yeah.
An LA Night.
If that's you, don't tell us.
Don't.
So I know one YouTuber that's at least excited for the extended music, and that was Arlo. I was super excited to see the extended options.
Well, okay. So here's my thing. There are 2 songs that I will love them for if they put them on there and they make them and I can extend them. One of them is Hotel Delfino. The other one is Mysteries. Because those are my 2 frustration songs. And when I'm frustrated, I listen to them for like 5 straight hours until I'm not frustrated anymore.
Let me search right now. They have Jump Up Superstar from Odyssey.
From Odyssey.
What was the one you said? It was Delfino Hotel?
Yeah, but it's from Super Mario Sunshine.
It's in Sunshine.
So
yes,
I was going to say, in the trailer for this Nintendo Music app, they confirm for sure that they are adding more music in the future. So it's not just potential.
Right.
And they had games scrolling past that aren't there yet, like F-Zero X. So that some F-Zero music that we know will be coming. We had somebody asking us about, is F-Zero there? It was a list of another one was Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, which has some amazing music. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like the one from that level where you're a snake. I don't know why, but that's my whole childhood. Well, not my whole childhood, but a big swath of my childhood is that one level where you're a snake.
So that one's coming for sure, Lisa. You can extend it, listen to it for an hour.
Yes.
So now the only question is how often will they actually add new music? Hopefully it's not like once every 6 months, like the actual games they add to Switch Online.
That's probably my biggest concern. Their curation track record is not necessarily the most impressive thing right now. But I will say so, and I might be the only one who's as enthusiastic as I am on this panel, but I was actually just nothing but tickled by this announcement. I know a lot of people were like, why didn't you just put it on Spotify and Apple Music and I just need to remember, don't read the comments on YouTube because everyone was
Because Alarmo integration. That's why.
Oh,
I don't know.
So
Wait,
I
I'm not
feel
done.
a little-
I don't
I'm
know.
not done. I'm not done.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hold your thought, Lisa. Hold it. Okay. Dang it. Now look what you've done.
No, you forgot.
Train of thought.
Yeah. Go.
Me?
I'll remember it. Yes, you made me
okay.
forget. Now go, and
Um,
I'll take my turn later.
Okay, so yeah, so I feel bad to Anthony because earlier today he was like, "Go check the Discord, you won't be disappointed," and I was like, "Okay." And so I went and saw the Discord, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually what I've been asking for years."
Lisa's
Like,
been asking for this for
just-
years. Yes.
give me a way to listen to your music legally, and I'll do it. Just let me do it. I want to. And so I was very excited, but I did still have things to complain about because, like I said in the Discord, and Anthony saw it and was like, "Oh, I guess you are disappointed." And then what was this? I'm just like, okay, but why would you make it so that if I want to listen to your music, I can only listen to your music? I can't be like, "Oh yeah, let's have a song from Zelda, and then let's have a song from Astrobot," you know? So, or from Celeste or something. So that was like, come on, guys, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do it this way? But
I do have to.
They literally did a single thing. That is what I like. The baseline of what I wanted is now there, and I'm like, finally.
They pulled a Neil Morse, which Anthony
They
understands
really
that
did.
reference.
That's a
And
really good
Steve
reference.
too. Steve too.
What's that?
They just Neil Morse
Waterfall.
is one of my favorite artists, but he recently started his own streaming service where all of his past music from his bands is like it's behind this paywall of his own streaming service. He doesn't have it on Apple. He doesn't have it on Spotify or anything.
Nothing. His own thing.
So to an extent, some of it has been released on those platforms. But anyway,
So that's one good thing about the Nintendo Music app is that it is not a separate subscription.
it's
So
all
it
part
is-
of the Nintendo Online membership.
And that is
Oh.
something that actually made me really happy. Like my complaint about like, oh, why do you hate it if I listen to a song from Zelda and then a song from Celeste in the same sitting in the same playlist? I would have been really mad about that. But the fact that it actually added value to the Nintendo Switch Online thing, which I'm always like, wow, if I wasn't able to split this cost, this would so not be worth it. And now it's like, oh, this is a little more worth it. This is great.
How cool would it be to develop an app then that can integrate with all of those apps like Nintendo Music and Spotify and Apple Music, and just pull music, create playlists from all those sources? You still have to have accounts with all of them. You still have to have,
because legal problems.
Right, you'd run into legal problems otherwise. But I'm pretty sure there's got to be a way to finagle that. So all you're doing is just a media player that pulls it from their source. It's not copying the music or doing anything illegal in that sense. It's just making it more streamlined so you can have your own playlist and pull it from different locations. I don't know. That'd be a cool idea. Hey.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
There's your new job.
Yeah, there you go.
I was going to say, we have a developer and a UX designer here. Actually, we have several developers in here. So let's go. And we have a QA. Guys, we're all set.
I just don't know if Nintendo would even allow that.
That's awesome.
I mean, why not?
Legalities.
Well, yeah, but you might say, if you're not letting us have your music any legal way, why not let it stay on YouTube until you have a legal way?
But again, what's the difference between opening the app yourself and listening to it versus you still have to have a membership? So it would be, you would have this separate app that you'd have to enable. I don't know, you'd have to log into all the different accounts that you want to have linked, like Apple Music, Nintendo, whatever. And then it would just play it from their stuff, but just kind of in a more streamlined way. so you can mix and match your playlists from different sources. I don't know, like, is that really a legal issue? We'll find out, I guess.
When you do your job.
Find out when live stream from jail.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that live stream, and we try to publish the app.
Oh goodness.
So what I was going to say earlier is just that I was actually really pleased with the implementation. I mean, I understand the desire of being able to listen to it alongside other music that's not, made or published by Nintendo. But I don't know. I mean, as long as they do a good enough job with the curation of this app, there's a part of me that feels like it's not really going to be very noticeable. I mean, a lot of the music I love to listen to is largely Nintendo music, and so most of the time, if I just take it and I add it to my other playlists, like in Apple Music, then all it's going to do is make it so that Nintendo music will play sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, well, usually when I want to listen to a specific type of music, specifically from Nintendo, well, now I have a really easy way to do it, and it's just right there in the app. I don't have to try and sort through a bunch of different other songs. I don't know. I felt like, even if people will fight me all the way to the end of time about the implementation, I just feel like, despite what some might call a bit of tone deafness on Nintendo's part as far as making their music available on streaming services, that they're still putting together a pretty solid product. It seems like they've thought of a lot of different functionalities that are really fun. I noticed that they had things like, playlists for when you're on a walk or when you're going running, or if you're just wanting to relax, or you're working or you're studying. Like, it's kind of cool how they've so easily categorized things. And my brain, maybe that's why I like it, is my brain thinks in categories. So when I usually I don't want to have like a final boss battle theme followed by eine kleine Natsch music. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I like I like having, I usually am in the mood for a specific kind of music. And so for me, it's I feel like they've made that accessible in a really fun way. And so far, I mean, I haven't delved a ton into the app just yet, but what I have listened to so far, I've been pleased with. Like, another thing I noticed is that the audio quality is excellent. I didn't notice any issues.
Yeah, that was really nice.
So basically, while I understand people's stance as far as, why are you going through a new app instead of using established ones? First of all, it does feel like a very Nintendo thing to do, so it doesn't surprise me. Yeah. But also, I think it's well implemented, and my hope is that it will only get more so. And I'm just super tickled to have a way to listen to to just Nintendo music without needing to try and dig it up on YouTube. Plus, it's helping me recognize music that I normally wouldn't listen to as music I enjoy. Like, for example, one of the songs that came on in the Nintendo Selects playlist that they have at the top of the app was a song from Animal Crossing, and I realized, oh, this is
that's what I'm talking about. That's right. This is going to get Anthony to play Animal Crossing.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm going to be a pedant for a second.
A pedant?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I will be angry. I will be angry if, like, for example, they only put the HD version of Wind Waker music on there and not the original version of Wind Waker music on there.
Or Paper Mario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Pedal Bark. Yeah, I'm a thwomp now. I'm a thwomp because I'm passionate about this. So, like, I'm just like, please. Yeah, exactly. No, please put both versions, because, like, for example, like, I was just barely looking at the app a little bit, and I was like, ooh, I should listen to the Molduga battle, whatever, the sand beastie from Breath of the Wild, to see if they, like, did a good job with it. But then I was like, oh yeah, and that reminds me, there's a song from Wind Waker I like, which is like the Mulgara or something. And with that song specifically, I like the original. No. Which one is the one I like? I like one of the ones. There's the HD version and the not HD version. And I like one of them and I don't like the other one.
But
So,
having the options
hope they put
would
both.
be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope they put both.
Yep. Good point. Good
You
point.
might have hope,
Thank you.
Lisa. 'Cause I know something interesting. So they had Metroid NES version and a Metroid Famicom version for like the original game. It's a little random, but basically the same game but two different soundtracks. So it shows a willingness to put the same game more than once if there's differences in the music.
Yes,
Nice.
I have a question.
So there is hope.
Yeah.
Speak.
What are they gonna do for games that like were on a Nintendo system, but not necessarily like owned by Nintendo? Like
I
a
think
Final
that's
Fantasy
probably.
game.
I'm almost certain that's just completely out of their hands.
It depends. They'd have to get special licensing if they wanted to do that.
Give me
But-
Tales of Fantasia.
I think to start off, we should only expect to see first party games or Nintendo exclusives.
So yes, basically.
I think Tales of Fantasia is on Apple Music.
Really?
Let's see.
I'm gonna have to go look at that.
Yep, it totally is.
What?
Ooh.
But did they do it right? Because there's a certain song that I like a lot, and so many people don't do it right, and it sounds like a freaking nightmare.
Is it original OST or is it?
Cover album.
So let's see. There's a PlayStation version. There's a
not the
GBA
PlayStation.
version.
The what version?
There's a GBA version. There's a Super Famicom version.
That might be the right one.
Might be it.
It probably has
Super
to be that
Famicom
one.
is probably the one because they. I mean, I'm pretty sure we know that the Super Famicom had a better sound chip than the Super Nintendo, which still love how we didn't get as good hardware back in the day.
Wait.
Anyway,
Wait, which one is the Super Famicom one?
SFC.
Oh, SFC. Okay. It's the like Desolate Path or something. Oh, Desolate Road. Because because I didn't know it was on Apple Music, so I'm gonna have to add this to my library. But because I didn't know it was on here, I would try and find it on YouTube, and there would be people that had put it on YouTube, but they like there's a certain sound that they use in that song. We're not at the part yet.
This is a really exciting part of the stream for all y'all.
Yes.
We just got DMCA'd.
I was gonna say,
oh no. Actually? All right. Yeah, so that guitar sounding thing, some of the people that uploaded it to YouTube uploaded it in such a way that sounds
Awful.
nightmarishly bad.
Hmm.
And so
I'm guessing the GBA version is to thank for that.
maybe.
Is
I don't know. I can like link you it. But anyway, I like that song a lot. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that's on Apple Music.
There you go. You guys heard it here first. For anybody that wanted to buy,
So we've
Anybody
got
that wanted Tales of Fantasia music.
if you wanted Tales of Fantasia music, go to Apple Music.
we've got the Nintendo Music app for Nintendo games, and then you have Apple Music for everything else.
Until Austin decides to make his special app that will streamline everything.
there you go. Let's go.
Yes, they have the Wii channels.
Simply
Do you think
Music.
they have
Yeah.
Nintendo Land? I like
That's
the
right.
channels.
Yeah, it's Simply Music.
Yeah, I had fun when the Wii
The Wii channel.
that was fun.
Yeah, Wii channel music. That's cool.
I don't know why.
Anyway, yeah.
So there you have it.
Sorry to derailed it so much, but yeah, there's honestly, I think that this app has incredible potential. And honestly, even if it doesn't end up meeting even my hopes, I'm not going to call them expectations. I'm going to call them hopes. I think that this is one of the most powerful shows of solidarity that Nintendo has given to their fans in a very long time. Honestly,
Yes.
and I said this on the Discord, in some ways I feel like this is a bigger announcement than the Switch 2 would be. Because, you know, we know the Switch 2 is coming. It's kind of silly that they're taking as long as they are to tell us about it. But this music app was honestly, I mean, it's something that fans have been asking for almost as long as Nintendo has been making video games.
Yeah, it proves that they've been listening, which is great.
And it took them a long time, but
Yeah.
but,
they have been listening for years and years.
They listened to our tormented
take
scream.
songs off of YouTube.
They're like, okay, I think I've been satiated enough on their screams. I think we can finally do it now.
Yeah, so kind of my takeaway from this is, yes, I have things I could complain about. I'm very good at complaining. But just as the baseline, thank you for finally giving me a legal way to listen to your songs that isn't carrying my freaking N64 with me, because I don't have one. Anyway.
You know,
or like the time when they're like, you can carry your Switch. Sorry, go ahead, David.
Yes.
Like, yes, you could possibly carry your Switch. I'm not going to do that, but yes. No. But here's the thing. Ocarina of Time. If I want to listen to that, okay, yes. Okay, I could play it on the Nintendo DS. But what about games that I don't know. Mad.
Yeah. It's funny to remember the Switch thing, because they're like, look how much music we put in Smash Bros. Smash Bros can just be your music app on the Switch. I think that was Nintendo. That was Nintendo, like, not wanting to put their music everywhere else. They're like, can you just listen to it in the game, please? You know.
No.
While I'm working, let me just boot up Smash Bros. And let
I'm sure my boss will love
that. Honestly, that moment there when they said that was like Nintendo's equivalent to when Blizzard did their very unpopular Diablo Eternal or something announcement, and everyone was booing them, and the guy was like, "Why don't you guys have phones?"
It was the mobile,
Like, that is not the point. That is definitely not the point. I don't understand how you're so tone deaf. So yeah, that was Nintendo's Diablo, don't you have phones moment, and now they finally did something different, and I'm very happy about that.
Can you imagine if they add like Smash Bros soundtrack to this app, then you'll have like everything. You'll have all the games represented.
Yep.
Well, hopefully that's not what they're like. Hopefully they're not like, hey, I added Smash Bros, so now I never have to add anything ever again. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Obviously, I'm very excited about this subject, and I'm very happy, even though I'm mostly complaining. But I can say, looking through the app, which I'm currently doing because I didn't do it earlier, I actually really, really appreciate this fact, and that's that, like, when I go to like Breath of the Wild game and then select all tracks, it has like the silly little jingles, because sometimes I want to listen to the silly little jingle. And so they have Sheikah Slate acquired. So that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree that I like that too. One thing, they have Yoshi's Island, but they might not have had the Touch Fuzzy Get Busy version of the song.
They might not. Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Not that that's one I'd seek out, but I was like, I wonder if they literally have everything. And even the Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy distorted music. But anyway.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that they do have like almost everything, and it's fun.
Yeah.
They, looking through the app itself, it's pretty slick, I think. I listen to Apple Music a lot, and I feel like the Nintendo Music app is easy to use, easy to search. Like Anthony said, there's a ton of curated playlists that are great.
And you can make your own playlist,
which
is awesome.
You can favorite your own
I
stuff.
did not expect them to do that for some reason, because it's Nintendo. You never they're going to mess up something, but they got that right.
Yeah,
they do.
you create playlists and then you can add it to playlists. So yeah, that's awesome.
There's the part of me that wants to be like, I'm sorry, there's the half of me that's like, okay, I'm so ecstatic that they finally gave us something that I wish that I could just, be just be happy and not have any like, well, why this way? But I'll get off that horse. Basically, I'm like, I'm sorry that I have complaints. I'm so happy, but I still have complaints, and I'm sorry. So I've now that I've beat that horse a few more times, I will stop beating that horse. I'm sorry.
Now you need to follow it up with something positive to make it all better.
I need you to kiss the horse better.
Oh no! I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Yoshi's Island is on there. That's such good music.
I was really
mad that
happy
Yoshi's
about
Woolly World isn't even on there.
What?
They don't have Yoshi's Woolly World on there. They better have
Kirby's Epic
Yoshi's
Yarn
Woolly
on
World
there?
later.
Kirby's Epic Yarn?
Nah, not yet.
I throw you out the window.
But the game Steven really wants is Yoshi's Crafted World, right, Steven?
Oh my gosh. Let's just add the 2 tracks from that game.
Now it'll really feel like an extended song.
I was trying to find a cricket noise. I couldn't find a cricket noise.
That can probably be your most disappointing sequel, Steve, if we do any of those sounds in the
Oh
disc.
my word! Yes, that would be my most disappointing sequel. Man, that game following Yoshi's Woolly World is a sin. That's all I gotta say. Anyway,
Here, I can't. Okay, this is the nice thing. The one nice thing I can say about Yoshi's Crafted World. The aesthetic was cute.
Yes.
the one nice thing I can say about it is
The
it
one
ended.
nice thing. Yep.
Is it ended?
Is it ended? That's the nice thing I can say about it.
God.
It ended. It was over. Anyway, now that the comments are gonna fire things at me.
No, I'm saying I think that might actually be a pretty solid segue though, because I think we might be starting to need to reach our end as well.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
Time
melting.
to die.
some of us are falling asleep on stream.
I'm sorry for all of the big yawns. I tried to stifle them. It's been a fun topic.
So,
It's been really fun to chat with you guys. Yeah.
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 Well, there you guys have it. Some awesome news coming. Hopefully, there'll be some good music added to the Nintendo Music app. Just keep your
Why
eyes.
did they put
peeled.
Nintendogs? They could
Why
put a
did
different
they?
game that I actually played. Sorry. Maybe somebody can tell me that Nintendogs is actually good. Anyway.
Hopefully they add music at a good clip, and
Yes,
and then
agreed.
we'll have plenty more to be happy about. And I guess the last thing now we have to wonder is, with 2 days in a row of very shocking shadow drops, what do you think tomorrow's shadow drop is going to be?
Everything's a shadow drop.
Nintendo phone.
Nintendo phone.
Oh, Nintendo phone. Let's go.
we're calling this the Twitter Direct. Because we didn't get a Nintendo Direct in September like they usually do, and now they're just announcing everything randomly out of nowhere.
Can you imagine if they just dropped the Switch 2 announcement? Just-
Right.
But you see, it's going to be anything but the Switch 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But they said it had to be in this fiscal year, right?
Which means until like next April is the fiscal year. So
Isn't it scheduled to release sometime next year?
That's what the rumors
Theory.
have suggested. They're
At
putting
least.
it all over the place.
Yeah.
maybe that's the last thing we can mention is the timing of like Xenoblade X releasing in March. Does that give us any clue of Nintendo's hardware plan? Like
I
that
hope
means
so.
Well, okay, so I don't know. I feel like I've said that this recently, so maybe I'm wrong to say it again. But I have no thoughts in my brain. Okay.
Sorry, no, I was laughing at something else. Someone needs to put Lakes' comment up.
Wait, what is it?
What is it?
Nintendo's going full label.
All right. But So, you know, I was talking to Anthony about how there's Xenoblade Chronicles X coming, as we discussed a few 20s of minutes ago. And I've been seeing news articles being like, oh, hey, Monolith Soft is working on the new engine for the Switch 2, apparently. So I'm like, kind of, maybe the definitive edition will be on the Switch 2.
Or Xenoblade 4.
Xenoblade 4.
Yeah. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it does end up meaning that it's going to be a launch because no wait, I'm still talking.
Or
stop. I'm hopeful it's going to end up being a launch title because March is one of the rumored dates. Now, that's not the most recently rumored date. Some of the more recent rumors have just been suggesting that they might move it to the end of the year, which would be disappointing. But it matches one of the unsubstantiated rumors, and I think that would be pretty cool. Anyway, all right.
Or tomorrow, we're going to hear about a Poochie's and Yoshi's Woolly World Definitive Edition coming to the Switch. Alongside with great music being added to the Nintendo Music.
Steve, I think you just trolled yourself really hard. They're probably going to. I'm sorry, Steven. I'm sorry, Steven. I'm pretty sure the one thing that
if we get Xenoblade Chronicles
Hey, I'm still talking. Hey, I'm still talking. You have to let me finish my punchline. The one thing that's less likely to get announced than the Switch 2 is Yoshi's Woolly World, okay?
Wow. Oh my gosh. But come on. If Xenoblade Chronicles X can be announced for Switch, there's still hope for Woolly World.
Honestly, I hope you get your wish because I enjoyed that game too.
Yeah.
It's just I'd be surprised. Anyway,
I'm done talking.
Yeah, about 3 minutes ago, I said that we needed to stop talking, and then I'm probably one of the major offenders for why we haven't done that yet.
Well,
take us out.
You're good. Let's call it there. But thank you guys. Anyone who stuck around and listened to our ramblings, thank you so much for being here. Let us know your thoughts for anyone that's watching this later than the live recording. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your impressions, everything about the news that we've shared today. And don't forget to subscribe for more nerdy content in the future. Click that like button and ring that notification bell, as that really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. We really appreciate your support. And until next time,
keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.